Hello everyone, welcome to bimmodel.com. This is Raj. In this video tutorial, we'll be discussing about creating the parametric family of access door. The main objective of this tutorial will be how to create a type catalog for a parametric family. If you have two types or five types, even 10 types can be created using normal duplicating the existing type, and you can modify the parameter and you'll be able to do it. If you have 100 types, it could be size, it could be material, or it could be any variations of parameters. The combination, if you have, mostly for light fixtures, for the column structural elements, so these kind of elements will have more types than usual with the other furniture elements. In that case, we'll be need to create a type catalog. As a user can use existing types, and they can able to select only the required families. This will reduce the project size and it will be very handy to the user, those who are using it. So with that, let's start the new family. I want to create this access door family as a face-based family. Let's select, go to the generic model family, and it should be a face-based, and you'll be able to select open. So I'm doing this in 2018. If you need this family, you'll be able to download from bimmodeler.com. I will leave a link in the description. You'll be able to pick it up from there. You have to log in and you have to download. It's a free way. So we have thousands of families already. We are planning to upload more families on Windows and doors. Do let us know what other families you need in the family rank. With that, so make sure that the family goes under what category. So we can say this could be our generic model, or it could be a door family. It is not needed to be. It will be a furniture, or it could be a mechanical element, or any elements that you want to fix. In my case, I like to keep this as a furniture element, or let it be as generic element. So you know that the plus symbol is the origin. So it'll be as a front elevation if you are placing it in the wall as a for the access panel. So let me create the access panel on the top side like this in this place. Or if you need to create in the center position like this, you can create it. So the family will be a simple option, simple geometries, and we will be able to do a void object. So to create a cut in the face like this, so we have to create, right click, use create similar, and create the geometry object like this, and make a equal constraint using the dimensions. Create the dimension between these elements, and the dimension, actual dimension, which represents the height of the access panel. Again, equal constraint, dimension on the bottom, which represents the width of the parameter. Say width. This is going to be a type parameter, and this one going to be height. Let's say okay. We have created two parameters, and we will be creating our void in this place. Let's go ahead to the create, and we'll be looking for void extrusion. I'm going to create exactly in the place. I hope everybody knows constraining, locking like this. Finish this and go to the front view to see the extrusion direction. So it goes upper side. Let me make this a reference plane like this, or you can stretch this, select, stretch this downwards till the height you needed. So in this case, it's going 300 and something. We can keep like this, or we can create a reference plane and lock it. This way, it will be very useful if you want to control the height of the void. Select once again and align with the reference in that place. You know that while creating the void extrude, it did not cut any geometry, so still it is in orange color. So align it properly, use the cut tool, click both the elements. You see that the orange color gone. Check in 3D, you'll be able to see the void object in place like this. You can adjust the height later time. So in this time, I like to create a geometry for access to panel here. So this is going to be a simple geometry, as I said. So I'll be creating a sweep, and for the sweep, I like to create a path. You can even use the pick path option. In my case, I'm just drawing it. I'm going to log with the object like this, reference plane like this. If you miss any lock, use the align tool. Just align it and lock it again. It's done. Use the finish and go to the edit profile option. It'll ask us to open the left view or right view, any of the 3D views wanted. I like to go with the left view. If you see that the profile, we need to draw it in this place, open the left side view like this. So I like to draw a frame with the door at the same time. But if you need a frame and door as separate elements, you can draw it. In my case, I like to keep them as same because I don't have any dimension reference or anything. So it's just a representation of the object, and it's going to be 50 millimeter like this. I'm going to use trim and extend like this. I'll be creating another object like in this side, 4 millimeter, and I'm going to draw it maybe until this place. I'll be deleting this, trim and extend TR like this. You may be wondering why I'm drawing it like this. You'll be able to understand it once I finish this. I can stretch it like this. I can create a smooth corner in this place like this. It's just an example representation, so I'm just drawing it as roughly. Once it is done, you'll be able to finish this and finish this. And if you go to the 3D object, and you'll be able to see how the object is created. You can use the temporary hide option in the sunglass here, hide element. You'll be able to see the frames like this. For the door, we need to close this portion. So I like to go to the plan view again, like this. I'm going to create an extrude object, pick line. Whenever I click, it will be automatically locked with that edge. This. And even I will be going to the 3D to set the work plane because it should be exactly on the face of the object. I like to go ahead and use the set or plane, pick a plane, okay. I'm going to select the face upper side or lower side like this, any face that you want to do it, going downwards, and we can use the align tool again, upper face, aligning with this face, like that. Once it is properly done, you'll be able to use the join command. You can join both the elements like this. So it looks perfectly all right, and you won't be able to see any missing elements like this. Go to the floor plan again, and I like to keep keyhole in this place. So it's just an object. So we will be able to draw it as a revolve, or we will be able to draw it as an extrude object. It depends on our wish. So basically I like to keep it this far, and I'm going to draw a dimension between these two objects like this. Be drawing an extrude object, extrusion. Before drawing it, I'm going to go 3D and use the set or plane. I'm going to select the face so that the object remains in the same top portion of the object like this. I'm using the tab key so that it will be easily understandable which face that we are selecting. I'm selecting the top face. I'm going to the circle like this, or I can go ahead to the floor plan and draw a circle object exactly in the middle like this. I like to keep this as 15 millimeter like this, and I can select the circle and pick the center mark. I'll be able to align this tool middle portion like this place. I don't need this circle anymore. I can create a hole if needed like this, or in this direction. Once it is done, use the finish tool, and by default it will be increasing. If it is in millimeter, it will be increasing to 2 millimeter. I don't need, just need 5 millimeter. Go to the 3D and make it shaded object which is created on the downside. Can change the direction to the upper side by editing the work plane, set the plane. It's highlighting only the bottom portion. We'll try and move it to the top side like this. And 5 millimeter sticker reduced to 2 millimeter. I need to test the parameters. So I'm going to select this right side parameter like this, and I'm going to stretch it like this. It moves properly side with the keyhole. Bottom side, even it moves perfectly. I can select this, make it as perfect. Now I'll be able to save this family to my desktop. I can say that it is going to be access door, creating backup one. I'm going to create the other parameters if I needed, like maybe manufacturer, we can say modeler, manufacturer's name, www.modeler.com. Like this, what are the parameters we needed, we will be able to fill it in. So in this case, we modeler a access door 001, and I'll be creating one type. This type will be, maybe we can say 500 into 500, 100 into 1000 like this. I'm going to select OK. This will be 1500. Move this parameter upside, finish it. And by doing this, we will be able to understand that so the parameters are changing properly. Needed, we can select whole object in the 3D. We can assign a serial parameter to this, change the panel material, and we'll be able to go ahead. If any other parameters needed, we'll be able to assign them. That's it. So Now, if I go ahead and save this family, and we can create a type catalog by going to the file and go here and say family types. You will be able to export a text file like this as a txt file, and it will be as same as the existing family name. Save this file, open an Excel sheet, and I'm going to keep a copy of this. I'm going to the Excel, say open, browse the desktop. I'll be opening the same file. So I'm going to all files. This is going to be access door copy or access door file like this. So it is a delimitated separated file. So it will be a comma delimitated. It's tab. So click the comma and press next and finish it. Here we have opened the exactly the same file. Maximize it. You'll be able to see all the parameters available within the file. Now we have to create the types that we needed. For in this case, I maybe needed 500 to 2000 millimeter, 600 to 1000 millimeter. I'll be replicating the same 600 to 2000 millimeter. If you have all the details filled in Excel, you will be able to simply copy and paste these parameters and go ahead to the family and load it. Sorry, this will be 600, 600. Other side, this is going to be 1000, 1000. And if you see that the remaining all parameters are same, I'm going to copy and paste it all the place. And I could simply eliminate this parameter, but let it be as it. If you see that we have filled all the parameters, and we'll be able to save as this family. Don't save it because it will not going to save as a comma delimiter. We have to browse this, and we have to use option called CSV file comma delimiter CSV. There are different CSV. We should use this comma delimited file place, and we have to save in the same name as before. Close this, and we will be able to delete the existing text file because we're going to create a new one. The CSV file is here. Simply rename this CSV as txt. Press enter. It will ask us to, do you want to continue? Yes. Once it is done, we are done. We can close this family, start a new project, any project that you wanted. If you like this video, do subscribe and share it with your learning friends. That will be much more helpful. And I just added a wall to place the access door, and go ahead and insert or press architectural component. I can load the family from my desktop. As I said, family name and the text file name should be matching each other, and you have to keep both the file in the same place. Once you do that, you'll be able to see this dialog box properly coming up. If you're not saved properly, this dialog box will not appear, error will pop up. It means you're not done the text file properly. So if you have hundreds of files, as a user, it will be very useful. You will be able to filter only 500 millimeter like this, and you will be able to select them. So you can filter using multiple parameters. You can select required types as you select. In this case, I'm selecting only two, and When I do that, see that the family it's going to be placed like this. See the void also cutting the wall like this. And if I open the drop down, and we will be able to see only two types as in this. In place and check in 3D. Shaded, rotated. So this is how we will be able to make our parametric access to a family, and we can create a type catalog family for any families. So it's a simple example. I hope you understand what is type catalog. Have any questions, leave your comment below. Tutorials. So thank you so much. See you on the next tutorial. Take care. Bye bye.